Hi, Fashion Dolls. The Queen is back. It is Wednesday, November 9th, and welcome to an all-new episode of Style by Stevie. Our next special guest is a model, actor, and artist, and I'm super excited to have him here, representing, I couldn't get it out, representing the Columbus, Georgia area. I'm super excited, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are doing wonderful this Wednesday. The Black Friday sales are starting, so I hope you guys are getting your holiday shopping done because I know the stores are going to be packed tonight. I was talking to my mom, and my mom was telling me, like, you can't go because you're going to be packed up like sardines. So I really wanted to go to the Black Friday sale. So you guys go shop for me. Walmart is having their Black Friday sale tonight. Today it starts. Today is the 9th. So make sure you guys go and check it out. And there's a plenty of other stores that are going to be doing their Black Friday sales as well too. Shout outs to my makeup artist and beauty contributor Melanie out of my bridges for making sure that we are right. Today I am serving Chasing Waterfalls realness. I hope you guys are doing awesome and fabulous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shout outs to Jay Evans. We did a music panel together, so make sure you guys go and check it out. Me, him, and K Tukes, and head on over and subscribe to their YouTube channels. Today we have a Broadway superstar here in the building, Valton Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be adding him. Let me send him this live. Make sure you guys share this live. I'm super excited. We apologize about it. Make sure you guys have your questions ready for him. I'm super excited. We're going to have some fun today. Now, tomorrow we have T-Quan, who is an artist, and we have actor Tony Jones, who is going to be joining me. So without further ado, let's welcome to the dollhouse our handsome, incredibly talented special guest, actor, model, artist, Valton Jackson. Oh,
Hey!
welcome to
What's
the
up?
dollhouse. How
Um,
are you?
Thank you, Stevie. I'm wonderful. How are you doing? You look lovely.
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. So great to have you here.
Thank you. So great to be here.
Like we just didn't speak 2 minutes ago. All right. So let's kick this off. How has your 2022 been? Because I know you just got through doing The Village, which we'll get into, and you've done a number of projects on Broadway, which we'll get into. So how's your 2022 been? We're like a quarter of a half out of this month going into the new year of 2023. Like the months and year has went by so fast. How's your 2022 been so far?
I know, like it's crazy to believe that 22 is like about to be over. And like it's crazy. 2022 has been a good year to me. Been a very, very good year. It's been the first year that it really kind of felt like things got back to similar to what they were work wise and like just in terms of like keeping busy and like all that stuff, but prior to the pandemic. So it was hard to adjust back to that lifestyle and that sort of schedule. But it's been a good year in terms of just like work. The Village was amazing. I really, really enjoyed being a part of that project. I had worked on the show previously in 2019, I believe it was, when we did like just the reading of that show, and so this was our first time doing like the full on like production of it, and it was great. It was really good. I really, really adored Nora Burns. She's like one of my most favorite people I've ever met before in my entire life. Not just in New York, but just, period. She's great. She's really great. We need more people like her. And so she is the creator of that show, the playwright, and it was, yeah, it's a really great show to be a part of. And yeah, and 2022 has been a very, very good year. I'm excited for 2023, to be honest.
Anything that you're manifesting in the future?
Um, I've had a lot of really cool auditions lately for a lot of fun things.
Okay.
And so I don't want to. I never like to like be too specific about talking about that kind of stuff until after it's like a for sure thing that I like booked or like will
Written in
actually
stone.
happen. But I will say that in terms of manifesting, because I do believe in manifestation very
Yeah.
deeply. I'd like to. Uh, put out good energy and juju that those good projects and things on the horizon will continue to be there and be attainable and possibly happen. Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming, my
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. Just I just
So let
I manifest like the path I'm continuing on continues to be good to me.
and it's more coming because you've done Chicago, you've done the Village, you went on to do so much more with your career, which we'll get into throughout the interview.
Yeah.
So you grew up and was born in Columbus, Georgia. Am I correct?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm from Columbus, Georgia. That's my hometown. That's home where my mama, she still lives there, and my brother, he has since moved to Atlanta. But every time I go home to visit, I'm usually in Columbus. And if I'm not in Columbus, then we're all in Atlanta at my brother's place. But Columbus is still is home. Yes, I moved there when I was very very young. Like right before like the very beginning of like fifth grade. So so I think of Columbus as home. Prior to Columbus, I was in Birmingham, Alabama, but Southern boy through and through. And so yeah, Columbus, Georgia is home by way of Birmingham, Alabama. But look, Columbus.
Okay, okay. So you also maintained a bachelor's in theater from Brea College. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I went to Berea College, which is also my mama's alma mater. And I majored in a theater performance. I was a dance minor, but it was gonna take a little while, extra semester or two to get that. And I was like, nah, y'all, I'm ready to go. So, so I was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and just take my theater bachelor's and head on out. um, but yeah, I went to Berea College in Berea, Kentucky. It was a great experience. I had a blast there. I mean, lifelong friends and really got to discover a lot about just myself and who I am as not as a only as a college student and as an actor, but just as a person. It was really cool, going to the same school that my mama went to. Like that was nice. One of my really really close professors that I really enjoyed there and had a great connection with Professor Baskin. He's a professor of Black Studies. He's a doctor now, and he was there when my mama was there. In fact, I want to say my mom worked at the Black Student Union or the Black Studies Center at the same time that he was like the professor in charge of that program. So that was kind of cool. They like working at the same at school that my mama she also went to, and like I worked there as well. We both were in the Black Student Union scholarship pageant.
Go ahead.
And I want to say my mom, the year she won, she got like the first runner up, like she was crowned princess, and I was crowned prince. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. There's a little bit like a legacy there. Berea is a great school, really small, 4-year liberal arts college. But I had a blast there, and it was a great time. I'm a mountaineer for life.
So what did mom say when you got the acting bug? Because I know this is something that you were passionate about doing, from the music to the acting and being on stage, Broadway. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, my mom has always, me and mom are very, very close. So she's always known about my aspirations and affinity towards the arts and wanting to be an actor and performer and artist and stuff. I was very, very, very young when I discovered what I enjoyed doing and what I wanted to do. So my mom's always been in support of that. I mean, yes, when I was a little kid, like I still played like, like little league baseball and basketball and all that kind of stuff. But I would never do it for more than like a year or two because, my mom very quickly learned that, oh, Valton likes to sing. And like I enjoy like acting and dancing and stuff. So I was able to like join the Columbus Boy Choir and back home in Columbus, Georgia when I was like 11 or 12 years old. From there, I did theater all throughout high school and college. My mom was always really supportive of that. She always wanted me to have like a little bit of a backup plan. Just she's a mom and she worries, and she
Yeah.
knows how the show business is a very, very like fickle like career, chosen career path. So she's the one to make sure I wasn't out here struggling just because she cares. But no, my mom's always been really, really supportive of me being a performer, and she still gets excited whenever I like have like big projects. Like when I was on SNL, I mean, she was like really, really excited about that. Everybody got really excited about that. Even when I've done like background work and stuff on things like just small little TV shows and things that aren't even that big of a deal. Like to my mom, she's always been super supportive and excited about that kind of stuff. So yeah, she's really supportive of my career. My mom and my brother both.
Now let's go down the list here because you said you've done some background work. We're gonna get right into it. You did The Village,
Yeah.
which we've all seen you in. Outstanding job, my love. You did Kinky Boots, Halftime. You did Mamma Mia, which is a cult classic. You've done Jesus Christ Superstar. You've done The Bodyguard. Everybody knows that I love Whitney Houston.
I,
You've
totally.
done hair. You've done a number of play work. So let's get right into it. What is that feeling like being on stage on Broadway in front of everyone? Because it's in real time. Like you can't mess up a line or anything. And if you do, the audience will catch on to it. So what is it like, that feeling being on stage?
It's thrilling. It's exhilarating. It's being on stage is there's nothing else like it. I think that's part of the reason why I've been able to stick with it for so long, and for whatever reason just can't seem to let go, because I think once you get bitten by that bug, I mean it's forever. Being on stage is a really, really wonderful, exciting feeling, and I know I love it. Yes, when you're on stage, there's no retake, there's no going back, there's no do-over. When you're up there, you're up there. And we rehearse. Theater, the theater world is a world where you are rehearsed, and you are rehearsed well, and you have an extensive amount of rehearsal time to make sure that when you're on stage, you know exactly what you're doing, and that you're prepared. But of course, we're only human, and like things happen. And so part of being a live theater performer is that when you miss a dance step, or your voice might crack on a note, or you flub a line, you just keep going. Like the show must go on. So you find whatever way you need to just get back on track, and keep moving. And audiences, in my experience, are usually really forgiving of that for the most part. They're
Yeah.
they're more forgiving of certain things over others. But in general, I think when you're on stage, and if a mishap happens, you just keep going. Like you don't have a choice. Like there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing else you can do. Versus when you're doing like a on camera project, like
Yeah.
film, TV, there's easily you can cut, and you can do it over. But in my experience, sometimes even with TV and film stuff, they'll still put the part where you messed up on in the movie or the TV anyway. So it's like even though you did it over and you did it right, they still put the part in there where you messed up on. So it's just like, okay. So it's like whatever. And even then, it's like, hey, if that's the take they took it for a reason, and you just kind of like allow. Just what else can you do about it? Like that's just the work. That's what it is. Do better on the next one, I guess. But no, being on stage is really, really great. I've been really fortunate to be a part of a lot of really, really cool theater projects, and to do some really, really great shows. I had auditions actually just this week for some other really cool stuff. So we'll see if that happens. I am I am excited. I'm gonna get to this Thanksgiving. I'll be doing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade again, so that'll be exciting. That's kind of like that's a great one, because it's like both is like live theater as well as like on camera. It's like live TV, which I guess
Yes.
is like its own thing. It's like its own thing, kind of like Saturday Night Live. But being on stage is great. I love it. There's nothing else I think I enjoy more.
And some of the greats have come from Broadway. Of course, Jennifer Lewis,
Yeah.
Diana Ross, Liza Minnelli,
Hmm.
um, Sidney Poitier. The list goes on and on of some of the greats who've been on Broadway. Who is someone that you look up to that you would like to possibly work with on Broadway?
A number of people. Um, the first person that comes to mind is Lily White. I've always adored her, and
Mm.
we've actually worked together. I was the swing for a show that she was in, and I think the world of Lily is. I think she's a fantastic actor, and um, and someone that I absolutely would love to like work with again. Andre DeShields is another one. He's really fantastic theater performer, and he was in the same show actually that I worked with Lilius on, and just I don't know, watching of amazing like theater actors like that just work. You just get to like see them do what they do, and you're in their element. And it's just like wow, they're really great. You just kind of like learn just from watching. Donna McKechnie is another one. I think the world of her. I think Audrey McDonald is fantastic.
Oh, Raisin in the Sun. Yes.
Yeah, she's great. Like, I mean, there's like some amazing actors who, yeah, I would love to work with any number of them on anything. But yeah, those specifically those people who are broad known for like their Broadway abilities. I would love to like just sit and just be able to like work with them and like learn more and
Yeah.
like take in more like kind of like a free master class and having, I mean, yeah, to have a career even half, even a quarter as successful as either of those people would be amazing. So, yeah.
At what age did you discover the sound of music? Can you remember what song did you heard that you were singing along to? Because children pick up things at a young age where it's just like, okay, I want to sing, I want to do this. And I know for me, um, it was the first time listening to Sade. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
singer, but I discovered music through listening to Sade. My father taught me about Motown and the different eras of music and things like that. And Sade was the first artist that I came across, actually, for those of you who do not know. So, at what age did you discover and what artist did you say, okay, I want to sing?
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting that you asked the question because I think like previously you just said what age you discovered the sound of music. That was
Yeah.
a very interesting word choice because it was actually the sound of music was like the first musical I had ever heard, the first play I had ever seen. One of my mom's friends, like a guy from that she worked with, he took me to see it as a very small kid and a little kid, and I just remember realizing like oh like people can sing and dance for and make a living, like this is like their job, they get paid to do this, like wow, like that's great, and I just remember like sitting there watching and that really being the first time ever that I like, even if I didn't like fully understand it then, that being the first time I was like I understood like people can be a performer and like that's what they do and they do it all the time and that can be their life, and I was like oh okay, well I want to do that, like that seems like that'd be cool to do. In terms of like recording artists though, I mean, there's been a number of them that I've been like hugely obsessed with. I want to say the first time I remember like having my own taste in music and like listening to an artist and being like, I want to listen to this person, and realizing that the people inside the radio were like real and they actually like existed. I would say probably like TLC. TLC was like definitely one of the first artists I remember as a kid. TLC and Mariah Carey were the first like artists, Mariah especially, were the first artists I remember like listening to and listening to their songs and like singing along with them and like mimicking them. And not, I mean, 90s R&B girl groups in general were always like kind of my like biggest go-to growing up. Um, yes, for sure. But yeah, I would say specifically TLC and Mariah Carey were like the two recording artists that I, as a child, gravitated towards at the very beginning the most, and then from there, my taste just continued to develop from the two of them.
Well, we're gonna get along just fine because you're literally speaking my language. K2 and Jay Evans, I hope y'all caught that because shout outs to these amazing brothers of mine. We did a music panel, and those are actually some of our favorite artists from the 90s.
Yeah,
TLC, SWV, and of course Mariah Carey.
yeah,
The holidays are coming up, so when I think of
yeah.
Mariah Carey, I think of automatically, boom, Christmas.
Right.
So
Yeah.
transitioning into the Christmas holidays, do you see yourself in any more Christmas holiday theme musicals on Broadway? Could we expect that in the future?
Um, I not entirely sure in terms of like a specifically a Christmas themed Broadway thing per se,
Yeah.
but again, part of those projects on the horizon. One of them is a Christmas holiday themed um project, and if it's meant to be mine and meant to be something I'm a part of, then I will be a part of it, and I hope that that's true. And if it's true, y'all will know about it. And you will see it,
All right.
and it'll be out there. But I definitely, like I said, I definitely am doing the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Day Parade. So that's something. At least that. Yeah.
Yes, and this is the perfect time during the holidays. Because when I think of the holidays, I think of the Macy's Day Parade. I think of the Nutcracker. Shout outs to Debbie Allen, the incredible Debbie Allen, because she took
Yes.
the
Legend.
Nutcracker and she
Yeah.
turned it into the hot chocolate Nutcracker. Gave us our
Yes.
own version of it.
It was amazing.
So I
Yeah.
could so see you in something like that.
I
And
I would
you
love it.
know, Alvin Ailey. So it's just incredible what the things that she does. But she's also been on Broadway herself, her and Felicia Rashad.
Yes, yes, Felicia Shot. I mean, that's another amazing, like who has a theater background as well, like a huge Broadway theater background as well. Her and Debbie, they're both that family, like to have two such amazingly talented daughters, and like family members. Um, yeah, Debbie Allen has done amazing things for like Christmas and Black people, and like giving us, and just
Mm,
for the world, for
come on.
all of us, but specifically like a Black people's Christmas, and it's yeah, she did a great thing with her Nutcracker, and Felicia Rashad. She's always done amazing work and amazing things. I forget what was that Netflix movie that she was like the grandmother and the narrator at the beginning of. I remember watching it with my family. It came out during the pandemic. I forget the name of it escapes me right now, but I loved it. I remember it was amazing. Um, yeah, it was really good. So yeah, I'm excited for the holidays, and we'll see what projects I end up working on. But whichever ones they are, I'll definitely make sure everyone knows about it.
Definitely. So you guys follow Valton. So we're going to take some questions. You guys get your questions ready. If you guys have any questions for myself or Valton, you can type them in the bubble or you can type them in the comments. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on you guys to type your questions, we're going to do our game here with Valton. And the first one is called Rapid Five.
Okay.
Valton, he has to tell us 5 things that he can't live without. And it can be your favorite food, it can be your favorite singer, your favorite music, your favorite place to shop, wherever you like, your top 5 favorite things you can't live without. Then we're going to turn the tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want. And for the questioning, for my new viewers out there, you get to know a little bit about me through the questions. So we're going to start off with the rapid fire while you guys are typing your questions for Valton. What are 5 things that Valton can't live without?
Okay. 5 things I cannot live without. I cannot live without the gym. I really, really enjoy going to the gym. I need to be able to work out. It's my sanctuary. It's my place of just peace and relaxation. I cannot live without the gym. Um, I cannot live without Britney Spears. I love her. She's like my girl. That is my everything. I love her music. I think she's wonderful. I'm so happy that she's free now and like able to be herself, the woman that she's been supposed to be this whole time, particularly this last 13 years of her. I cannot live without my mom. I cannot live without my mom and my brother. Um, I think, does that count as 2 or as 1? I'm gonna say my mom and my brother. My mom and brother is like one unit. I cannot live without them. I love them both very much. They mean the world to me. So yeah, I need my mom and my brother. I cannot live without my friends. My friends are another thing that I feel like I'm dead without them. They really, really mean so much to me, and they really help me be comfortable in my own skin. And so I'm very, very in need of my friends. And one more thing. So there's the gym, there's Brittany, my mom and my brother, and my friends. Last thing that I feel like I cannot live without I would say Rihanna's Fenty Fat Water. It's like a hybrid like serum toner that's really, really, really good for your skin. And it's probably my most favorite like product of anything that I ever put on my face. And yes, I really, really, really love it. And so for on this day at this time, those are the 5 things I cannot live without.
All right. All right. And we got some questions for you, Valton. Let me
Okay.
see. Oh, okay. Let me go to the other ones. Okay, because there's three. All right. What is the role that you must get before you leave this earth? And that is from my fraternal island Yankee.
Okay. What is the role that I must have like before I leave this earth? I have
Yeah.
always wanted to play Jack in Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that would be really fun. I would love to do it, in my own way. Like, take the character, make him take the character, the traditional role, and like, kiss the hold to his tradition, but also like just make him my own, make him my own. And I've always loved the music from that movie. I love the story, just the concepts of of Nightmare Before Christmas. And so playing Jack Before Christmas would be huge check on the bucket.
Mm. And the next question is shout outs to K Tooks, my brother, the K Tooks spot. Make sure you guys head on over and subscribe to his channel. He wants to know what is your dream project that you would love to produce, star, and direct?
That's a really good question. My dream was to produce and direct. I mean, you need another movie turned musical on Broadway. Like, like if it's going to be a good one, I say why not? I would love there to be a musical stage version of um,
Uh-oh, give it a second, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. We're gonna wait a second, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'm gonna get to your question. He's gonna give you all right, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys can see the full look. I got on my Tina Turner dress today.
Am I back?
Right.
Yeah.
You were saying because you got cut off the last part.
Sorry, I was saying I would love to be I would love to star, direct, and produce in a musical stage version of Coming to America. I think that would be an incredible show. I think that there's so much potential for that to be an amazing, big Broadway musical. It would be really tough and it'd be very expensive to do it right because we would want to do it right, but
Yeah.
it's doable. It's totally doable. So if there could be a musical version of Coming to America, and I would love to produce and direct that, star in it if possible. I don't know if I want to star in the same show that I direct. I feel like that might be kind of a big weight to bear. But to be a part of that project in any capacity would be amazing. I just think it's something that needs to happen, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I don't know if maybe it's an issue of like the rights or maybe the creatives of that show, that movie, that script, they don't want, there to be a Broadway musical. Maybe they don't, maybe they don't care to do that. But I think it could be amazing if done well. I'd love to maybe even like be on the creative team in terms of like writing and creating the show and some of the songs, because I think that has a lot of potential to be a really, really great project.
The costumes and everything. I
The
can see it right now.
costumes, the set, just the song, the story, the characters are already beloved characters that we all know and like adore. I think Coming to America, the musical, could be Broadway's next huge hit. Absolutely. And I
Oh,
want to
we
be
got
part of it.
three more questions.
Yes.
And yeah, keep asking you guys, ask away, and then we'll get to the turn the table segment. Okay, the next one is what classic movie that hasn't been done on Broadway that you think should?
Coming to America. I would say, that's the one for me. I mean, when I think about like movies that have not become musicals yet, and one that I think would do really, really well. Coming to America is like at the very top of that list to me. I haven't even heard anything about it even being like workshopped or even like talked about, and I'm just like, I think that would be amazing. I think that is. I mean, it's like all the material you need is like right there already. You just gotta like write the songs and have the auditions. Like, I mean, I think that show. I mean, it would be amazing. You know, then we already have ways of like putting like animals and things on stage. So like we could get the elephants up there. We could have, you know, we already have the means to like create that world. We just need to do it. So yeah, I would say Coming to America, and I think Miss Congeniality would be cute too. That'd be a cute, fun one for like for Broadway. I feel like that'd be another movie that would do well as specifically as a musical, but like there a stage version of that would be great. I know there's talk about maybe doing like a Magic Mike musical. I think that could be fun. That'd be sexy. That'd be cute. Um, there's also Tu Wong Fu that originally was supposed to be a stage version, but they couldn't figure out how to put a car on stage, so they decided to just make it a movie because that'd be easier. But I mean, a stage version of that would be great. But still, out of everything I've listed, Coming to America is still my number one. I think that needs to be a staged musical, and I think it would be I think it would be absolutely amazing. I think it would be a huge, huge, huge hit. And if done well, I think it could be fantastic. I really do.
They're like The Wiz. I mean, they brought The
Yeah.
Wiz. I mean, it's a classic, but they brought it back and they
Yes.
revived it, and so many others. Of course, what is the movie? What is my favorite Christmas movie? With Ralphie. I can't remember the name of it. A Christmas
Oh,
Story. They
A
brought
Christmas
that one back.
Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stage version of that one. Mean Girls was very, very big on Broadway. Now,
Hmm.
Legally Blonde is a huge, huge was a huge, huge Broadway success. It was a great movie and a great stage version, you know, and really done well. So I think Coming to America would be could be right on up there. It's like the transition from going from like Africa to New York, like, and it would just be such a cool the wedding and like I don't know the love songs between Akeem and Lisa. Like, I just think it could be done so well. I probably, honestly, sitting here, the more I think about it, I feel like I'd rather direct it than be in it, just because I would want to make sure it was
Yeah.
done right. We can find some other guy to like be Prince Akeem. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it because if I could be that role, that'd be great. But I'm sure we can find someone who, equally as talented, if not more talented, to play Prince Akeem. But I would want the vision of the show to be done right, and I would want it to be beautiful and authentic and fun. And I just feel like I would want to make sure I was directing or producing it, just to make sure it was done right.
Yes.
Yes.
And our next question is from Jay Evans. We got a couple. They're coming in so fast. Has it gotten better being a black actor and getting good roles?
I'd like to say yes. And I don't think I'm being naive in answering the question that way. I think we still have a ways to go, and we always will, just because of the history of this country and the way that things have just been designed, and we, a lot of us have been conditioned to think, when we think of like leading man, a lot of people still imagine someone who looks a certain way in their head. But I like to say that things are definitely better than they used to be, and there's a lot more opportunity for us, and a variety of opportunity for us, and not all just the same roles. So yes, I absolutely think things have gotten better in terms of being a black performer and the roles that are available to us, particularly in theater, but also in TV and film and the world of dance and modeling and just the entertainment industry throughout. I think things have gotten better. We have a long way to go. We need to continue to go down, this road of progression. But yes, I like to think things have gotten better.
Absolutely. What would be your dream show to do on Broadway? And this is from Kev Soho.
A show that's like currently on Broadway that I would love to do. Chicago would be really, really fun. I enjoy that show. I just did a production of that at the Muni in St. Louis. So Chicago would be great. That'd be a really, really fun show to be a part of, just because I love Fosse and jazz and, dressed in all black and being sexy and the classic songs and stuff. I feel like Chicago is such like one of those like classic like Broadway shows, so
Yeah.
that'd be cool to have that be a part of my trajectory. That I was in Chicago on Broadway. Um, I hear a lot of people say Wicked is one of their favorite shows. I've actually never seen Wicked. I can't believe it, but I've yet to see Wicked yet. But I hear a lot of people say that's, for a lot of them, that's their favorite Broadway show like ever.
Oh
So that
yeah.
would be cool. And I mean, honestly, The Lion King was the first show on Broadway I ever saw. My aunt took me to, my Aunt Maona. Hey, Aunt Maona, shout out to Aunt Maona. She took me to see The Lion King. And I just remember being in awe of that show, being like, wow, this is amazing, so cool. And I'd love to be a part of that as well. Honestly, the only role I feel like I could see myself in that show being would be Simba. To be honest, I'm not technical enough of a dancer to be one of the dancers in it, or it'd be really really hard for me to be one of the dancers in that show. But I would love to be Simba. And my favorite musical of all time is Once on This Island. There was a revival of that on Broadway, and it was amazing. I remember watching it and it being reignited and re-inspired as a theater performer. I thought the production of that was just incredible. And I mean, it's just my favorite musical ever, and I love the song. So if that ever comes back, which I hope it does, I would love to be in that revival. I got pretty close to being in this last revival, but it just didn't work out for me in enough time before it closed. But I would love to be in Once on This Island anywhere, but on Broadway would be great too. But yeah, I'd say those are the current slash past Broadway shows that I would love to be a part of if given the opportunity.
All right. And one more from Kev. He wants to know, what show are you streaming these days?
What show am I streaming these days? I am not the best at like streaming stuff, but I was definitely looking at How to Get Away with Murder pretty religiously for a while. That was not. I love Viola; she's fantastic, and and I just thought that was a very, very well done show. I love the characters and the concepts and everything. I'm trying to think of maybe something more recently though. I will definitely always go to a throwback of like a '90s, early 2000s. Like I watched
Ooh,
That's So Raven all the way from the beginning. I love that show. I think Raven-Symoné is wonderful and like a great actor and performer and inspiration from like my childhood, even though I think she and I are literally the exact same age. But I love That's So Raven. I love Sister Sister. I love
yeah.
Martin, Fresh Prince, like all these like 90s, early 2000s TV shows. I'll stream that stuff. I Love Lucy. That's one of my most favorite TV shows ever. Maybe my favorite. I thought Lucille Ball was a comic genius. So I'll stream like old school stuff like that for real. I don't watch new stuff as much unless someone like brings it to my attention, like, oh, you should check this out. I'm like, oh, okay. Like two of my friends from college, Khalida and Jasmine, my two best friends from college, we they got me hip to Abbott Elementary. I watched one episode of it and it was hilarious. I had never seen it before. I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. They were like, Valton, yes, like you were so late. Like watch that show, get on it. I'm like, you're so right. So if the next show that I stream and like watch, it will be Abbott Elementary, even though I've only seen one episode yet. But it was great. It was really, really, really funny.
And it's so funny you said that because Jay Evans says, I'd love to see you do something on Albert Elementary. So
Oh
if that happens,
wow. Oh wow. Okay. Manifesting. Let's do it.
all right, Fashion Doll, y'all know what time it is. You done got through the question. It is time to turn those tables. For those of you who are new viewers just coming in, my guest here, Valton, is going to get to ask me some questions. And through these questions that he asks me, you guys get to know a little bit about me. So I'm going to pass it on down to Valton here. He's going to ask me some questions. Many as he wants. Take it away.
Okay. Okay. Miss Stevie, where are you from? Where's your
I'm
home?
from Carolina. I'm a Southern girl. What
Oh,
part?
okay. And what got you involved into like the arts and entertainment and like what was your inspiration? What brought you into this world?
The change, the way you can be a different person in every role. And A lot of people don't know this about me. I did a horror film. It was one role. I did a horror film, and that kind of put my feet into the door, wanting to get more and more into acting and doing so many things and being involved in the arts. So at a young age, I instantly knew, because we always know at a young age when this is something that we're passionate about doing. Like I said in the beginning of our interview, I said the first person that got me introduced to music was Sade. My father played a Sade record for me, and that's how I instantly got introduced it and hooked into music. So that's why I knew. Yeah.
Yes. What is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie. It's not really a horror movie. I would have to say a thriller, but
Uh-huh.
Scream. Scream is a classic. So hands down, Scream.
Hands down, I would consider Scream a horror movie.
Yeah.
I absolutely consider it, and it's probably my favorite as well. I love that franchise. I'm really, really excited for the new one coming out. Even though
Yeah.
I think Homegirl is not going to be in it apparently. I know, yeah, there's some contractual disagreements, but I don't think Nev Campbell's going to be in this next one. But we'll see. Maybe she'll come back. Who knows? But I'm still
Yeah.
excited. I love the Scream movies. Yeah, they're great. Favorite Sade album?
My favorite Sade album would have to be Love Deluxe. Love Deluxe does it for me. The album cover is so iconic, and just watching her perform, she's 60 and she's still out here performing. And then it was
Slay.
announced that she was coming back. Oh my goodness, I screamed. I said, yes, yes, another concert. Is she going to give us a tour? All of these things.
Yeah, she's great. All right, and so then one more question. Um, Short-term goal within the next, let's say, 1 to 5 years, what would be the ideal, what would be the ideal life, like career-wise? Where do you see yourself in the next 1 to 5 years?
I see myself working outside of Style by Stevie. I see myself working in the fashion industry because I love styling. I love change. And I feel as though when you put on a garment, you put on a piece of fashion or something of the sort, it makes you feel good. So I see
Yeah.
myself working in the fashion industry too. Yeah, in the next.
Awesome. That's amazing. Good. I love it.
All right, fashion dolls. That concludes the Turn the Tables segment. For those of you who don't know, you kind of got to know a little bit about me through the questioning. So, yes, Sade is everything. I love Sade. It's something about her. Like, music puts you in a mood. Whenever you're listening to something, you can imagine the place wherever they recorded this at or whatever type of scenery or imagery that the person is speaking about on their album. So, it does something to me, her music.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we miss any questions, fashion dolls, for myself or Valton? This was such a great conversation.
Yes, it was so lovely to sit down and be able to chat with you. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, this was the wonderful. Yeah, I had a blast.
Are there any encouraging words? Because you're so full of life. You're amazing. You're talented, and we wish you so much more in the future, my love. We talk a lot about manifestation and putting it out there in the universe. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to get into Broadway, who's looking to fulfill their dreams and passion of living, dancing, and creating in the arts?
Yeah, I would just say keep doing it. Don't ever let anyone or anything deter you or make you think for any reason that this isn't absolutely doable and possible. I'm doing it, so you can too. There's no reason to not. Just put yourself around good people who inspire you and encourage you, and my one of my best friends, Kyle. Really, really great friends, Kyle. His mama, Miss Sandra, has a quote that says, when you walk into a room, you should be celebrated, not tolerated. I
Come on.
love that quote. I think it's so good. Make sure you're around people that celebrate you, don't not tolerate you. You know what I mean? And make sure you're someone to celebrate, not just tolerate. On both sides of it, you hold yourself accountable. And I think putting yourself around good energy and good people and good situations and good environments and things that better you. All of that plays a huge factor into the success of anyone's life or career or trajectory or just their story. So I would say all of that. That's the best advice I think I can give anyone for, regardless of what you're trying to do for your career, is just to be around positivity. And if something's not benefiting you, you need to move on and let it go. And I don't know any other way to say that than to just say it like that. Stop making excuses for people or for situations that don't benefit you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have one more question from Mr. Marlene. He wants to know, would you ever bring The Notebook or Steel Magnolia to Broadway?
Yeah, those would be great. Those would be great. Well, Semiosis was already on Broadway. The Notebook, that would be amazing as a Broadway show. I think I'd love that movie. So yeah, I would love to be a part of those projects too. Semiosis is one of my most favorite movies ever, and I love the play too. Actually, I love this show as
Mine
well.
too. And you all already know my favorite character. My favorite character is Weezer. And if
Yeah,
I ever got the opportunity, I would play Weezer because she just
yeah,
had that about her. She didn't care.
exactly. Yeah, she was great. I love it. Yes, that's one of my favorites. So yeah.
Okay. All right, fashion dolls. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest today, Mr. Valton Jackson. Let everyone know where they can follow you and check out your projects because my fashion dolls, they already love you. They're saying, I love you, Mr. Valton.
I love y'all too. Thank you for having me. You can follow me on Instagram at Valton Jackson. That's my handle. Any projects and career things that I'm working on, I will always post here. I'm on Facebook as well. I don't post there as often. And then, like all my music and stuff is on on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. But follow me here. I would say Instagram is my #1 social media account for sure.
Wow,
I have a
Godspeed, my
TikTok
love.
too.
And it was such a great time with you. I told you we were
You
going
too.
to have fun here. I would love to have you back on in the future again.
Absolutely. I would love it. Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful to meet you and to chat.
You too, ladies and gentlemen, Valton Jackson. Joining me tomorrow, Fashion Dolls. We have singer Sequan and then Tony Jones will be joining me tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in for an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Thank you, Valton. It's such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Miss Stevie. Bye.
Mwah. Take care, my love. Take care,
You
Fashion
too.
Dolls. Tomorrow.